Hello, everybody. Mad Hatter Scrappy again. Let me see. What am I going to do today? Ooh, I'll tell you a joke. Okay. CIA had put out one ad. They wanted some folks to join the CIA. Well, they made appointments. This first fella come in for his appointment. Man at the CIA says, "Can you do what we tell you to do?" He says, "Yep, no problem. I can do it. I'm a tough old bird." So they hand him a gun. Tell him, "You go in that next room right yonder and you kill whoever is sitting in that chair." He says, "I can do it." He goes in there, and about 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, he comes out with tears in his eyes, and he hands the gun back to the fella, and he says, "I can't kill her. That's my wife, and we've been together for 40 years. And she may not be much, but she's my wife, and I ain't going to do it." So they tell him, "Okay, goodbye." He leaves. Next comes in a feller who had a next appointment, and they did the same thing with him. They said, "Okay, you go in that room with this here gun, and you kill whoever's in that chair." He says, "I can do it." They said, "Will you do everything we tell you to do?" He said, "Not a problem at all. I can do it." So he goes in the room. Same thing happens. He comes out with tears in his eyes, and he says, "I just couldn't do it. Me and Martha in there, we done been together for about 35 years, and I just can't kill her. She's the best woman I ever knowed." So they took the gun back, sent him out the door. About an hour later, a lady come in there. She says, "I'm here for the job. I got an appointment." They said, "Okay, can you do anything we tell you to do?" She says, "Oh, yeah, no problem. I can do it." So they hand her the gun. Then they say, "You go in that room and you kill the fella that's sitting in there in that fold-up metal chair." She says, "No problem." She cocked that gun and walked through the door, and you heard the awfulest racket. Boom, boom, bang. There's all kinds of noise coming out of that room. Took about 10 minutes for her to come back out, and she is mad as a wet hornet. She throwed the gun down on the table, and she said, "That gun misfired. It wasn't worth a darn. I had to beat my husband to death with a chair." Yeah, she did it. She got the job, you know it. She did. Now, today we still brung to you by Billy Bob's Mercantile. Y'all got to go down there and check that out. Not only that, but we also brought to you by Uncle Handsome. He's one of the best poets you will ever listen to, and I encourage you to go buy his albums. Yes. So, without waiting no longer, let's listen to They Come From Afar.
They come from afar. They say the wise men come from afar, and I'm sure what they say is true. But I've often wondered about that far, and I expect you probably have too. Did they build that far, or were they putting it out? Was it a house, or a shed, or a barn? Or were they all camping out and roasting some weenies? Or did they build it to keep themselves warm? Following in the stars and hanging around fars, someday folks are bound to realize spending time with friends in the great outdoors is a real good way to grow wise.
Ain't that true? Y'all think about that. That's something true to keep you going now. Thank y'all. Hope y'all come back tomorrow. We see what else we got.